Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video I will be going over the books that I read for the month of August, which I am very proud of because I was in a reading slump over the summer, but this was a pretty good amount of books that I read. The first book I read for the month of August is Feelings Ever After by Kaysen Callender. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm sorry once more, but this was a really great read that it got me out of my reading slump. I buddy read this with my friend Jan, who just recently started her booktube channel, and you guys should go check it out because I absolutely love her. If you didn't know, Feelings Ever After is about Felix Love. He is a transgender boy trying to figure out what it's like to be in love. But everything goes wrong when he goes back to school and finds pictures of himself before he transitioned up on the wall along with his dead name. Now in this book he basically plans out this elaborate plan of figuring out who this person is and why they decided to do that, and while he's trying to figure that out he discovers feelings he never had. So yeah, I would say this was a pretty good read. I didn't like the ending as much as I thought I would because I was expecting this to lead to a trope that I really like. So if you know me, you would know what I'm talking about. But it went into another trope that I don't really like, but it's okay. So yeah, I feel like people would still enjoy this, especially if you enjoyed that other trope I'm talking about. But I don't. So yeah, still go pick this up. It was a great read. The next book that I read was Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This was also another good read. I finished in a day because it is written in verse, and it was the first book I read in verse. Clap When You Land is about these two sisters, but they don't know that they're sisters, and they don't know of each other's existence at all until their dad dies in a plane crash. So through that crash they discover each other, and you know, it's a journey to just figuring out more about their dad and how they really didn't know their dad as much as they thought they did. I would say I think I rated this a 3.5 or a 3 out of 5 or a 4. I don't know what my rating was, but I enjoyed it. I think Elizabeth Acevedo's writing was very atmospheric, and it was just really a really beautifully written book. I will say the ending was really confusing. I couldn't tell whose perspective I was reading from anymore. I didn't know if that was intentional to like show the readers like, oh look, even though they didn't know about each other, it's so obvious that they're related because of how similar they are. But I really didn't like that just because it was so confusing at times. Still, it was a great read and I enjoyed it. The next book I read is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I think this has to be the most disappointing book I've read this month. And yeah, I didn't like this at all. I rated this a 2.5, or honestly it should be a 2 because this book was so boring. The twist is what saved it, and it was the only thing I liked about this book. I also enjoyed the writing. I think the way E. Lockhart wrote this was what made it enjoyable, but the story itself wasn't anything prominent. Like, it wasn't anything that I would remember. Even right now I really don't remember what happened in this book except for the twist. My dogs are really loud and I was trying to calm them down, but every time a person passes by my house they just start barking and I can't do anything about it. So I am sorry for the background noise. The next book I read for the month of August is The Poppy War, and it is now my all-time favorite book, although that can still change. I uploaded a reading vlog of me reading this under 24 hours, which was a really intense day, and it was on my sister's birthday too. So yeah, The Poppy War is about Rin, and she passes the empire-wide test called the Keju, and so she enters the Synagard, I don't know how to pronounce it, which is one of the top military universities. But she obviously experiences a lot of, I would say, discrimination just because she's a peasant, and she's also dark skinned, yeah, and a woman at that. And then throughout the book she discovers that she has these abilities that are basically given to her by the Phoenix god, and through this book she has to figure out how to control it and also use it to win the third Poppy War. And I hope everyone is aware of the triggering content in this, since it is taking place in a war. I will be leaving a link to chapter 21, which is one of the most triggering chapters in this book, but I still highly recommend it. So in the middle of August I changed my TBR to join Weekathon, and even though I didn't get through all the books that I planned for Weekathon, I'm still happy with the books I was able to finish. So here we go. So the first book I read for Weekathon is Where Dreams Descend by Janelle Angeles, and it was such a good read, and I highly recommend that everyone goes pick it up. Honestly, if someone is trying to get into reading, I would recommend this book because it was so good and the characters are fantastic. I made a video, it is non-spoilery, and you should go check it out if you want to know more about Where Dreams Descend. And the next book I read for Weekathon is Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Rebai, which is such an important book. I feel like this book isn't talked enough, and I haven't really seen any big booktubers read this book, and I really hope that one of them reads this book just because of how important it is. Although the writing isn't anything like extravagant or like deep, so it does delve deep into the current events happening in the Philippines. If you didn't know, Patron Saints of Nothing is about Jay Reguero. He has to go back in the Philippines when he finds out that his cousin June was killed in Duterte's war on drugs. I feel like I butchered his name, but I don't care. This really addresses a lot of issues within the Filipino community, especially the Filipino American community, addressing their ignorance and how honestly a lot of Filipino Americans don't know at all what is going on in the Philippines. And I hope everyone goes and picks this up because it is such an important read. And the next book I read, which I did just finish last night, is A Girl in the Well by Rin Chupeco. This was so scary. I could not go into my work's storage room because I was too scared, especially opening alone with all the lights closed. I was too scared because of this book. So yeah, if you want a spooky read for October, go pick this up. I don't know if I'm gonna read The Suffering because I heard it's scarier than this one, but I'm going to anyways. I'm just gonna scare the crap out of myself. And the next book I read for Weekathon is Hindi Bagay by Cherry B. Gracio. I read it on my iPad, and I am not giving a rating for that one because my Tagalog is terrible. I feel like I didn't understand much of it, and so if you're really good in Tagalog, help me translate some of the words that I don't understand. Please hit me up. So yeah, I am in the process right now of trying to translate some of the words that I don't understand, just because I feel like I would fully understand better like what was going on in that book if I knew those words. I will say the parts that I did understand, it really did feel heartbreaking, and I feel like the book is about a toxic relationship, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, those are the books I read for the month of August. I read a total of I think 8 books, which to me is a pretty good amount, especially since I did just get out of a reading slump. And now I will be talking about the books that I will be reading for the month of September. Okay, so I have the books for September laid out here, and I tried keeping it a short list, but I am participating in a lot of book clubs, so this is a pretty good amount, and I'm really scared that I'm not gonna get through it because I just started my 3rd year in college. So the first book I have is A Song of Faith and Ruin. Did I pronounce that right? By Roseanne A. Brown, and I am reading this for Chanel's Crusty Club. So this is about 2 kingdoms, and I think this is a dual perspective. It is Malik and Karina. I think I'm pronouncing the names right. So both of them are in a plot to kill each other, but they think that the other person doesn't know. So Malik is trying to kill Karina to free his sister, and Karina is trying to kill Malik to bring back her mother from the dead. And yeah, I feel like this is gonna be an enemies to lovers story, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm really excited. It sounds great. I just love the whole, you know, assassination plots. So yeah, if you guys have the chance, you should go pick this up so you can read it for the month of September and join Chanel in her crusty book club, and along with other people who will be in her live show. Not sure yet who, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. The next book I will be reading is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, which is the sequel for The Poppy War. I will be reading this one for the Subtle Asian Book Club, the book club where we read books by Asian authors. It's hosted by Brianna, Alexandra, and Tiffany, and you guys should go check them out because they are amazing. And definitely join the book club as well, because we can suffer reading The Dragon Republic together. And then the next book I will be reading is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is for the Late Night Book Club hosted by Joel, Elias, and Noel. I heard this one is gonna be sapphic, which I'm not sure if it's true, but if it is, I now even want to read this more, and I'm excited. And the next book I will be reading is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, which I will be reading for the Bibliophiles Book Club, which is hosted by the Chaotic Vibes. So definitely check out the Bibliophiles Book Club as well, as we do read books by authors who are queer. So yeah, I will be reading 4 books or 4 book clubs, and I hope I get through all of these because these are pretty thick, except for Evelyn Hugo. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get through this one, but the Dragon Republic is really thick, and oh my god, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish this one as well because the book is small but it's thick, so I'm hoping the words aren't too small. And some of the books that I wanted to read just for myself was Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because I'm really trying to get into romance books. I really want to. I want to feel that love, you know? I also want to get through They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman, which I was supposed to buddy read with Jan, but I forgot, and I am sorry. Please forgive me. These are the books I will be reading for September, and I hope I can get through them. So yeah, these are the books that I will try to get through in the month of September, while also struggling with Zoom classes. I hope this video gave you an idea of what books you should read in September, and I hope you guys join the book clubs I did just mention. I will leave their social medias down below so you guys can go check them out. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. It is free and you can unsubscribe anytime, and my camera is dying, so goodbye. Bye!